Hi, you guys. Please like and subscribe. And if you haven't liked my last videos and you did like them, but you didn't have time to like it, go back and like them because especially the last 2 to 3 shows I've done, you guys know what they've been about. I really want people to see them. And if you like them, it makes people actually get on their feed. It's part of the algorithm. Without further ado, let's do the Valley Reunion Part 1, Season 2. Jeez. It's a long one. Well, one of the bombs in tonight's reunion, because I'm going to be intermingling it throughout some gossip that dropped this week, was that the boys' chat has naked girls' pictures and talks negatively about women and talks about men conquests and things like that, to such a point that Zach quit the chat and, Danny got kicked off it. All right, so let's start with some weird things with this seating chart, all right? Take a look at where Jesse is. He's almost on Andy Cohen's lap. He's so close to him. And look where Michelle Lally is. Yeah, way on the edge of the couch, almost off the couch. Her butt is practically on the floor on this seating chart with this many people on the cast. So I don't think it's looking too good for Michelle. Now, she's had some news. Her and Aaron stopped following each other. Then after the unfollow came the official announcement, Michelle and Aaron have broken up. She focuses on her new chapter. Boy, that's something big happened here because she was living with him. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to miss Aaron. I'm not going to miss Aaron in Michelle's life, but it was sad hearing her on the reunion tonight saying, I want to have kids and engagement could be in the cards and all this stuff with Aaron when, they break up 2 minutes after the reunion airs. Not a shot, but it's kind of okay, well, I guess that wasn't going as well as she led us to believe. Also on the reunion tonight, Jax said under his breath that Michelle was not telling the truth when she said that Aaron was good with her daughter and taking care of her and her daughter and spending a lot of time with them. Now, let me tell you some of the bombs in the reunion to do with Michelle and Jesse in this context. First and foremost, we find out that Jesse's girlfriend reached out to Michelle after 1 month and wanted mother to mother talk about what she wanted to do with the baby when it was with Jesse. And everybody was pretty shocked at how weird that was. Also, Jesse, it comes to light, can't afford his rent. And so Michelle's been helping him pay his rent, believe it or not. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Then we're reminded that Jesse had a tongue ring when he was dating Anna Nicole Smith. And his girlfriend threatened the cast with a cease and desist because she didn't want the Baywatch topic brought up, which is, of course, that she was dating a much older actor that was on Baywatch, but we know who that is. That's in an earlier recap. Well, the real big shocker is that Jesse Lally's rent is being paid by Michelle. More on that later. Now, the other thing that we notice is Zach Wickham was also at the end of the other couch, which was surprising, even though he was a friend of. He was upgraded to a full-timer this season, and I thought he really brought it. I actually thought he did better than Jasmine, so I'm not sure what that's all about, except I do know that there was a cast member who was trying to sabotage him with the fans early on, so I do think he's kind of climbing Mount Everest at the moment because somebody's definitely trying to rig the fans against him, maybe to get Bravo to not want to use him. But I thought he did a great job for what he had to work with. So Jax Taylor ends up announcing this before the reunion. I've made the decision to end my partnership with Jax's. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right one. Right now, my focus is on my sobriety and mental health, and staying connected to my bar is no longer in line with the priorities I've set for myself and the life I'm working towards. Now, why did I bother to share this with you, besides, of course, wanting your comments on him dropping that before the reunion and the strategy behind that? Well, number one, obviously, Jax can't be associated with the bar and running a bar if he's sober. That's not going to be easy for him to get over with the press, okay? There's always people going to say he's drinking and he's got chicks that he's screwing. And also, of course, it came out on the show that he was hooking up with employees. So his business partners probably weren't pleased with the kind of promotion the bar got on the show. That's number one, to a degree. Number two, we had them doing a deal with Brittany Cartwright. They were going to do an investment in her and also do it on the other side of the hill near Lisa Vanderpump's spots. And they suddenly pulled out with that deal with her, and kind of she felt like they were did her dirty. That's on some of the earlier recaps I did, if you want to go find that one, and the whole story. And then Jax announces that he's doing a renovation on his bar with his partners, and they're structuring it and branding it, but he doesn't say he's leaving the bar or not like part of it anymore. He just it seems like a business decision. Well, and then we get this announcement. So you guys tell me what you think's really going on here. There's been a lot of drama around Scheana Shay's book. First and foremost, Kristen Doute didn't totally believe Scheana Shay about the cheating in a sense. She's kind of like, why would you bring it up now? Now, Scheana had already answered why she brought it up now, and I'll tell you in a minute what she said. So sadly, on tonight's episode, guys, all the dirty shit comes out about Brittany and Jax, and we find out it's way worse than we thought, okay? First of all, when Jax had the big violent outbreak with Brittany at, the house that we heard about, it was way worse. Not only did he throw the coffee table and made her knee black and blue, but he threw 2 bar chairs. He broke her trophy that meant something to her. He broke her laptop. He broke other things in the house, but really expensive things. And then he shoved her into a rose bush. So, this was a traumatic event that she went through, not just someone losing their temper and leaving. So this explains a lot about actually why Jax has been asked to not come back next season, because, this was coming out tonight. And Brittany also said, you're a liar about wanting to keep a stable environment for your son. You didn't. You made us leave. You made your autistic son leave. You're lying. Then he tries to say that, she dated Julian soon after they broke up, but it was a month after, and everybody said that they knew that was true. And then Jax was caught lying about shaming her on her looks and everything. And everyone's like, you did. We saw the messages. And so he was horrific. And then he said that, yes, he had, lost interest in the marriage and he was trying to get her to leave him and he was doing everything awful to make her leave. And then he said he didn't pay the mortgage or his car payments because he gave up and on everything. And then he was pissed during COVID because she was making more money and supporting them during that difficult time. He's a cracker box. So for the most shocking gossip that was spilled about Jax and Brittany, I had to break out the vampire filter because it's that life-sucking what he did to her. Would you believe that he prolonged the divorce filing because he knew he might be losing his job on Bravo and he wanted to up the alimony amount so he could get more money from her every month after the show fires him? And so he did that. And remember, she paid the 7 months mortgage that he didn't pay. And not to mention, she allowed $1 million lien on the property that she had nothing to do with for his tax violation. So he wouldn't go to jail. And she's paying that too. So Jax is like, I don't want to touch drugs and alcohol. And I'm so glad that Brittany's testing me once a week because I can't get away with anything. But at the same time that all of this is being said, Jax just went on his show and said he was the scapegoat of the whole season. So Jax is bipolar. Nobody brings that up. And actually that explains a lot. Instead, they start talking about him taking steroids. And that obviously would agitate his temper too. And he has a good physique. So there's that. He's also smoking pot. But anyway, I don't know what the hell. I'm so confused. If Jax really wants to get help, he would treat his bipolar disorder. And that would probably help him with all his other problems. Kristen Doute questions Scheana Shay's motives for revealing Brock Davies' affair 2 years later. Why now? So then Brock Davies drops this super long message about how sorry he is that he cheated on Scheana Shay and almost broke up their family and he was insecure and all this stuff. There's the long message. I'm definitely not reading it to you. And he also says, like, shine on, I'm so proud of you for writing this book and outing the whole thing and using it to sell copies. Should be in there. And then somebody was like, but why now? To Brock. And this is what Brock said. This one's smaller. I'll read you this one. He said, I know it's taken me time to speak, and that was intentional. I wanted to give Scheana the space to share her story, but the life we've chosen is to be a public one, which means my accountability must be public as well. For the last 2 years, we have been privately doing the hard work, rebuilding what I broke. You have seen me as a husband and a father, and the work will never stop. This moment is about publicity, owning and taking accountability for my failure. Just to be clear, I am not going anywhere. I will continue to put the effort and time into being the best version of myself and the man our family deserves. My letter to Scheana is in this post. Now, Scheana Shay said, listen, if I was going to do a book at my age, I had to include everything. And that included, outing my husband cheating on me and also all the times I cheated on people. Because let me tell you something. I'm only like 2 chapters into Scheana's book, and I am covering it in the Patreon. And she's already cheated on her high school sweetheart. I don't know. This girl started right off the bat cheating. So she had to forgive him because she's cheated on a million people too. So it's like, how does she totally understands where he's coming from. So Lisa chimed in and said she doesn't care about Scheana Shay's book or Scheana Shay at all, pretty much. Kind of heartless, actually, I thought. But what really pissed me off that Lisa said, and I know you guys probably like this, but I don't, is like, oh, but we should be focusing on Ozzy Osbourne's death. Listen, I'm a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, but don't use Ozzy Osbourne's death to deflect off Scheana Shay's book. Last time I saw Lisa Vanderpump publicly with Sharon was in 2015, but who knows, maybe they have a quiet friendship. Let's just hope that Lisa Vanderpump got a nice present for Sharon Osbourne at Neiman Marcus when the paparazzi caught her there to, help her through this difficult time. We don't want more using people allegations, do we, Lisa? Peter Madrigal came to Lisa Vanderpump's aid. Of course, he does work for her, and he kind of dragged the show for a while for not using him and treating him better. I remember it was said on multiple podcasts, but he did stick up all of a sudden for Lisa. He said, I don't like any old cast of VPR anymore. We do not talk. The only person I will still support is Lisa Vanderpump. She deserves respect and made us all famous for nothing. Are you famous? I don't know. Certain people seem to thrive on TV, but now blame her years later for attention. Pathetic, quote me. Poor Peter Madrigal, still trying to cast for a full-time spot on any show, really, that will take him. Scheana then posted receipts saying, hey, listen, he asked me 10 minutes ago to be on his podcast, and I said, no, I had to wait till my proper book tour was done, but as soon as it was over, I'd, try to reach out to him and see if we could make it work. And I guess that diss really pissed him off. It pissed me off too. I get that, Peter. I'd be pissed at Scheana also. Another highlight of tonight's reunion is Kristen coming in hot. First words out of her mouth is, Janet, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I said I'd beat you up and call you a whore. And I just want you to know I regret that totally. And of course I wouldn't beat you up and I don't think you're a whore. It's not true. And I just wanted to apologize. And she says that right off the bat. And Janet's just like, what? And she doesn't know what to do. Should I accept this minute 1 of the show? And she does. But this was just recorded with Kristen.
A fan. Now it's like an insult. But you all knew that she was a fan of the show at the beginning. And that's how she kind of became friends with Scheana and this and that. But now it's kind of being used as a derogatory thing against her because what?
Because she's not. It's nothing to do with actually enjoying Vanderpump Rules. I don't care. But why are you trying to live vicariously through actual people's lives? And now that even when I look back, because I didn't know her as long as, let's say, Scheana knew her, or maybe some other people. But now looking back, how many times she was actually on Vanderpump Rules, in the background doing this or doing that. And I'm like, she really was trying to just be on the show.
But it worked. She got on the Valley. It worked.
Right. Which is sort of fine. It's just the level of not being authentic and trying to be someone that she's not, trying to be versions of people that I've been friends with, and really just being a fake asshole.
So let's face it, Kristen wasn't authentic in her apology in the reunion, so she probably shouldn't be, making this complaint against Janet, right? Well, hypocrisy. We're used to it on reality TV. Now, the other thing that came out is Jesse's broke and not doing great financially. And he likes that his girlfriend holds his feet to the fire and is talked shit about him behind his back, and he's okay with that. Also, he had hired a therapist for his daughter to be explained death when Michelle's mom was dying. And so all the things he told to the tabloids that like he was afraid of his daughter seeing death weren't true, because they had hired a therapist dealing with how to handle all that. And then Michelle had to weaponize the baby to say that she couldn't go to Boston to see Jesse's mom unless he let her see, her dying grandmother. No one could blame Michelle for that. And, Jesse really tried to maximize it. Also, it came out that he might be a fake crier. You know what's crazy about Jesse? He's a real master manipulator. So for optics, he's representing himself in the divorce. But the truth is he's got a bunch of attorneys that are advising him. So he's actually, coming full throttle, but pretending like he isn't. Oh boy, narcissist. So many on reality TV. Well, hopefully Michelle is, coming out of her shell now. She needs to. That's one of the things Luke said on the Vile podcast. He said Michelle is not liked by the fans because she doesn't show her feelings and it kind of act like Jesse does. But she's actually a really good person in Luke's opinion. Also, Luke said what was really going on that nobody knew, which is why he was acting so erratic when he was asking Kristen to marry him, was that they didn't really give him a break. He had to go see his grandmother and bury her. She died, and then go right back into filming his engagement with Kristen in Hawaii and the cameras. And he's not obviously used to that, too much. So it was really hard on him emotionally. He didn't know how to act. And so he was kind of having breakdowns, and no one knew because they didn't cover the grandmother passing away, really, just a little bit. So a lot about him, he said, was cut. He said he doesn't think he's that exciting to watch, so they just cut him way back. I don't know if that's true, Luke. I think they're looking for, instant gratification. Just be authentic and you'll be fine. Hopefully they won't fire you as long as you have Kristen around. All right, you guys. And on that note, I'm out. We'll do part 2. And I'll see you next week on that one and OC Thursday or in the Patreon.